All right. Hello, everyone. On the previous video, Elion created a project and I want to jump on start to work on it. And so first of all, of course, I'm either in the organization or I'm a collaborator there. I'll go to the project that Elion created. And as you'll see here, we have that history so far. And first of all, I need to bring it down to my workspace where I'm going to work on it and then basically update changes. So as you know here, I can get that project by going to code. I can copy that. Of course, you're going to decide where to get it. In this case, I want it on my Eclipse workspace. So I'm going to say git clone the project here. As soon as it clones, now I'm ready to load that. So I'll go ahead and say, let's open this project. And in this case, I have Team Neo here. I can load that. And now I can start working on it. And as soon as you start working on it, of course, depending on the use cases that you have, the other people are working on it. Like as of right now, Elion might be working on it as well. So in my case, I'll start doing my test case. I'll create a new feature file here.
1 second, Sabah. So let's work on a branch. Let's tell them how to do this on a branch.
Okay. Let's do that on the branch. So of course, let's first of all, then let's go into this project where I'm already in my Eclipse workspace. I can say go to Team Neo. And now, as you see, I'm on my main branch here. If as we have already seen that if you want to create a branch, you can do a git branch and then give it the branch name, or you can do it directly a git checkout branch, let's say Sabah branch, and not only create it, but directly activate it as well. So you switch to that one. So in one command, you have create branch and then check out to that branch. So now, as typically you, just a refresher, so you should be on that branch now. So any other changes that you do here, so when you create new files, remember they are untracked until you add them. They belong to neither, on that case, to neither of the branches. So here on this, I'm going to go onto the features. I'm going to go ahead and create that new feature now. And I'm going to say this is a login to HRM, that feature. And I'm going to leave it the same. I will not get into technicalities, but I want to go also to create steps for that. So I'm going to create here a package, com.neotech.steps. And on that package, I'm going to put or let's say my step file, which is just a class here. So I'm going to call that as login steps. So now I've made some changes on the project. Of course, these changes, you can always see them in this case, what you added, what you modified. And whenever you are ready that you implemented this feature, you are okay with the steps so far, and then you are ready to push, you can always start now sending it back to the remote repository. So in this case, always, it can happen that as you're working, some of your team members are working as well. They might have started earlier than you, they might have finished it faster than you, and so on. They might put stuff online. So that means just during the time that you took to create your test case, you have updates there. So what you want to do, even before starting to send your changes there, you might want to check if there's something new on the main branch remotely, right? We do have a main branch locally, but right now we're on my Sabah branch. If we want to get changes before we do something, of course, we can say git pull and origin main. So in that case, you're going to pull from your remote main, meaning from GitHub, and you're going to bring those changes here before you send anything yours. So in this case, if there's nothing to be added, then it's already up to date. So no one has added anything. I can go ahead and I can add these changes. I can commit these changes. And I'm going to say, let's say the login to HRM feature added. And now to send these changes. So I'm not cloning them to main, then sending from main and so on. What I want to do, I want to send my complete branch remotely, and I can ask there to merge these changes into the main branch on GitHub. So how do we do that? In this case, we can say git push with a U tracker. This is the first time I'm pushing from this branch. So if I want to make it easy for me other times to just say git push instead of git push origin and sub branch, you can use a U tracker. So here I'm going to say origin, and notice that I'm using the exact name that I have on my feature file on my branch so far, right? So in this case, once I do this, this will create a branch online, and it will tell you, even here, it will give you a link, which is the link to create a pull request. So that means if we go back online to our repository, automatically it will show that you have an option there to create basically a pull request. Now, keep in mind that sometimes, like this is the first time I'm pushing my branch, sometimes it might not show this option there. So that doesn't mean your changes didn't go or your push did not work. It's still, your branch might have been updated, but you would need to go there to see, for that branch, to see those changes into the branches, and then you would basically, it would show it at the top of this that you are one commit ahead. And if you click there, you can basically come to the exact same point as comparing and pulling that information. So here, what we're doing, we're asking these changes on sub branch to be merged on main, and I'm creating a pull request. Now, me or someone else can already merge that request, as there are no issues with it, there are no conflicts with it, and let's say everything was developed accordingly. And now, in this case, we have added those changes from my local branch and to the main branch on the remote repository. I must mention that after this action, everyone needs to be updated, even myself. So don't think that because you send the changes, you are now updated. There's a new commit created just because of merging there, and everyone, including the person who sent changes, should be updated.
Okay, so let me take from there. Can I start sharing? Yeah. So Sabah made some changes, and if we go to the Team Neo, you'll see that of course there's a branch here, Sabah, and on his branch he made some changes, and also he merged the changes to the main branch. So everything is on the main branch. So if we see here, there are 4 commits, and the last one is whatever Sabah did the changes there, and then also there was also another commit for the merge request. So as of right now, I am still on the main branch. So let me open my terminal, and let me go to my project, change directory, Team Neo. And if I see here git branch, I can see that, oops, sorry, of course I need to click this one correctly. I can see that I only have the main branch here, right? I made some changes there, I pushed the changes, and I am on the main branch. So at this moment here, Sabah has made some changes, but let us suppose that on the same time, I will go to my project and also I'm going to make some changes. So I didn't get any changes from Sabah. He made the changes, he put it on the repository, but I am also working here. Let me also create here a new feature file. And let me suppose that I'm working on add employee, right? Add employee dot feature. So as we know, right, a feature file will be created there, and everything, right? Let me just say here, tech, and then let me delete the rest. Okay, so that is all we have in our feature file. And also on the same, right? And then I also, right, I might make some changes on the common methods here. For example, let me add here public void method 1. And then, right, we have one method in our common methods here. So now I made some changes. Where are my changes? If I go to the terminal, if I say here git status, always I can check what are the changes that I made. So I modified the common methods, and also I added the add employee feature. Okay, so if I pushed my changes here. I didn't get Sabah's changes yet. So it's a good practice. Before I send something to the repository, right, to the GitHub repository, it's better if I get the changes. Since I didn't switch the branch, so I'm still on the main branch, right? So git branch, I'm still on the main branch. There is a connection between my main branch and the GitHub repository main branch. So by just saying here git pull, I will get the changes that we just saw here, right? The changes that we saw here that Sabah has made, and he merged them to the main branch. So these changes, I should be able to get them. Git pull. And you can see that even though I was working, right? Even though I was working, I didn't send my changes. I was able to get Sabah changes here. So if I go to my project here, and if I refresh, then I will see that log into HRM and also the steps package here with a class inside that Sabah just sent, they came to my, right? They came to my branch here. So now, again, if I say git status, again, right? Those are the changes that I have made, and I can send my changes to the repository. So I say here git add, right? And then if I say git status again, I see that now those are staged. If I say git commit -m started on add employee. So I am sending the changes that I made, and then git push. Since I am connected, right? My main local main branch is connected to the main branch, which is online. I don't need to say -u origin main, but I can just say git push. But if I want, I can also say git push minus blah 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 origin main. But even git push will work. So since I made the changes on the main branch, now if I go to the main branch here, and if I see there are 5 commits, right? So there is one extra commit that I just made, and I started working on the add employee feature. So Sabah worked it on a branch, I worked it on main. It's not suggested, but I just wanted to show it to you that also working on the main, right? You can still send the changes and get the changes. But of course, in the next video, I also going to create a branch, and then I will work on my branch, and Sabah will work on his branch, but we're going to merge the changes to the main branch, okay? So see you guys in the next video.